and essentially the CIA, you know, take over for the mob, and that's why the CIA sort of, the mob disappears, and the CIA starts running all of what had previously been mob rackets, like arms trafficking and drug trafficking, human trafficking, among other things, and that's why you have all those scandals of the CIA doing those things. They essentially, took it over, and if you look at the history of, U.S. intelligence specifically, it's very intimately married to Wall Street and to private capital and corporations in the U.S. That's why a lot of the earliest leaders of our intelligence apparatus were Wall Street lawyers and bankers, and why many of the CIA's earliest coups were done on behalf of major corporations, like the overthrow of Arbenz in Guatemala being done on behalf of United Fruit, and the overthrow of Mossadegh in Iran to benefit the Anglo-American, oil corporation, essentially. So it's really always been kind of this public-private partnership, and I would argue that organized crime came to dominate a lot of the American corporate landscape, but it took several decades, but it absolutely did happen. And so I think a lot of these figures that really should be seen as mobsters have managed to rebrand themselves as philanthropists. I think that's definitely true of Jeffrey Epstein's main patron, Leslie Wexner, who was identified as being very heavily linked to organized crime by the Columbus, Ohio Police Department. He's from Ohio. And it was, those documents were suppressed by the Columbus chief of police, but police in the area knew it at the time. And, there's been no interest in pursuing that. He's Ohio's richest man. Why would they? Right. But again, the focus has been kept very neatly on Epstein and very neatly about very specific aspects of that case, not on the broader picture and what it might mean if someone has a tie to Epstein. Having a tie to Epstein doesn't mean that person is a pedophile. It doesn't necessarily mean they were sexually blackmailed either. In a lot of cases, I think it has to do with business and financial links. But if Epstein is a financial criminal operating on behalf of this blob of organized crime and intelligence, that deserves scrutiny as well.